Well, hello racing fans, and welcome to our Gallop TV Preview Show. It's for our first local race meeting for a new week, 19th of August, Tuesday. Where we at? Well, we're at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. We're on the winter course, and we have got 8 races on the card. Race number 1 is at 1300 hours, 1 p.m. And if you're interested in playing the big one, the Pick 6, that's at 14:10. 10 past 2. 8 races on the go. Just having a chat to Brandon Bailey before we coming on air. And the most important point of discussion between him and I was the weather. And he's going to tell us a bit more. Hasn't been that good in your part of the world. Cape Town, Kaapstad, raining.
Good morning. Lovely to be back on the show. We know this time of the year, I keep saying it, stop, go. In terms of weather, unfortunately, we lost the race meeting over the weekend. There was a heavy downpour just before races were scheduled to start. I can confirm that Sunday was clear skies, but the temperatures were on the lower side, so I'm not too sure how much drying up of the track has been done. And early on this Monday, as we record the show, it's still clear skies, but again, still on the colder side. I believe gallops have been held this morning at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. But we'll just have to keep watching the press and see what comes through. For now, racing goes ahead, but the track will definitely be heavier, in my opinion, Dees. I did speak to some of the jockeys, obviously, that walked the track over the weekend, and they said that it was very soft. So you can read in between the lines, and I think we can expect similar conditions again on Tuesday.
Thank you for that update, and I trust that you, the valued racing fan, as well, and hopefully we can start off the new week with a bang if we are racing at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on Tuesday. Race number 1, I mentioned, begins at 1300 hours, and with 8 races carded, it'll be the first of the exotics, which is the Bipot, over 1,000 meters. At the time of recording, this is how it looks. Number 1, Symbolic Gesture, 7-1. Number 3, Magical Place, 22-10. Numbers 4 and 5 are both out. And then we go on to an 11-2 shot. That's number 11, which is Trip to Camelot. And we got number 14, Digby, at 5-1. When I first had a look at the race, Brandon, you know, my question would have been a kind of first time I make a winning debut against possibly another 2 race runners that stand out on form, number 3, Magical Palace, and number 14, Digby. Anything that you heard about with these first timers? Anything you know?
So these, I've heard nothing when it comes to the first timers. So we'll have to obviously look at the publications and what the trainers have put forward there in terms of their first timers. I see Justin Snaith has got a few nice ones. I did speak to Chad Little for Perfectly Placed. He's riding number 12, Frankie Fingers. He hasn't been able to work him, but Herman Brown has told him that he's a very nice horse. So we need to watch the likes of number 12, Frankie Fingers. I think number 11, Trip to Camelot, immediately jumps off the page when we talk about first-timers. But I've heard nothing, sadly, Dees. I am working Tuesday morning, or I'll be there early Tuesday morning. I'll try and disseminate any information that comes through from the trainers regarding the first-timers. So viewers that are watching the show, keep your ears obviously very close to the television set on Tuesday. But in terms of form, Deej, you have to think that number 3, Magical Place, easily brings in the best form. I mean, 2 very good runs. I'm still not entirely convinced about October Storm. I was hoping that race meeting went ahead over the weekend, because then we would have been able to paint the picture as to whether October Storm is as good as they think he is. We lost that meeting. This horse ran second to him on debut. He followed it up with a very good third. In fact, he moved in like he was going to be a big runner in terms of winning behind Sardinia Bay. And for your viewers, that black book that I keep referring to, the horse that ran second in that race, a horse called Delta Pride, looks way above average. But yes, in terms of form, you have to think that Magical Place brings in the best.
Yep, and you just touched on that first timer, number 11, Trip to Camelot. For our racing fans out there that don't have this type of information, the son of Trippy was a 5,250,000 rand purchase, and we congratulate all the Equus champions that were crowned last week Thursday. But in this race, well, let's give a mention to our champion breeders that bred this horse, number 11, Trip to Camelot, and that's Drakentine Stud, who also owned this with Eugene and Sandy Arundel. That's ITSASA Business Solutions. Race number 2, we'll kick off the place accumulator. It's a class 3 over 1200 meters. Number 2, Jet Force, is a horse that's grabbed most racing fans' attention, not because he's just been winning, a 2-time winner from 3 starts, but the manner in which he races and the manner he is able to accelerate and get to the opposition and actually win going away. He is trading at 3-1. Number 3, Late December, who's in superb form. Brandon touched on it when we started off our preview show with him for the first time last week about the strength of the form lines. That's trading at 5-2. Number 5, Roland Garros, at 5-1. 6, Scottish Kiss, is at 22-10. Selman is Silver Crown at 7-1. I like the look of this race. I know it's a small field. It's 1200 meters. The reason being, this horse, Jet Force, he's not going to have 14, 17, and 16 runners to get by. That's the size of fields he's been racing against, Brandon. It's just 7 runners that go to post. And, he's a 4-year-old who's won twice, liked the race, etc. But he just grabs your imagination as a racing fan, the way he gets the job done.
Good-looking gelding, this. You spot on, Dees. He has to be, in terms of rating, in my opinion, way ahead of the handicapper. We don't want to get overly excited too soon, but he does look to be a very smart sprinter in the making. I've often spoken to Uncle Des about this individual, and he's very excited to have him here in Cape Town for the Cape Summer season. He's been given a small rest, so I'm not sure where they are in terms of preparation. He's been off the track 105 days, and we know that there's been lots of rain over the last couple of weeks here in the Western Cape. But if he comes to the track, say 75-80% ready, he's definitely a horse that we need to watch going forward. Grant van Niekerk, well, he's, for me, easily an underrated. We're going to use the word underrated, but he's proven his mettle already in the Western Cape. We know that things haven't gone according to plan over the last part of last season for Grant, but he's a wonderful man. He certainly deserves the opportunities. I see he's got a few good opportunities now for Des into this meeting. He'll switch his horse off and he'll be flashing home late. He's very exciting, number 2, Jet Force. But the race doesn't stop there. You can make a case for number 3, Late December. His last 2 wins have been phenomenal. In particular, his last one, I thought that was very good and very impressive on the naked eye. Further down the page, I know they think the world of number 5, Roland Garros. Maybe this is on the shorter side. He'll be staying on late. And then number 6, Scottish Kiss. He's a tricky ride. I know he's starting to mature and mentally he's starting to do things right now, Dees. Muzieni will get on well with this individual. I know Sean Veal certainly thinks a lot of number 6, Scottish Kiss. He also won a very good race last time out. So either way, I think there's a few horses that we can take out of this particular race. I'd probably lean towards Jet Force as being the winner, but you have to watch Late December, Roland Garros, and Scottish Kiss.
What would be your suggestion, as this is the first leg of the place accumulator? You had a slight concern. You erred on the side of caution, maybe, with number 2, Jet Force, because of the layoff. Would you cover him with one more runner in the PA?
I'd probably throw in number 6, Scottish Kiss, Dees. I'm not saying, look, I've been waxing lyrical about this horse for a long time, Jet Force. If you see him in horse flesh, he equally matches his form. He's a good-looking gelding. There's, I think, a very good trainer. I mean, he's been around. He's been in the game for a long time. He thinks the world of this horse. And the fact that he's been put off just for a small amount of time, because I know his last one, if you watched him moving to the start, he was mentally still wanting to play around. He was getting warm underneath the collar. So maybe the small break is going to do him the world of good. So I'd go Jet Force and I'd probably back him up with Scottish Kiss.
2 and 6, leg 1 of the PA, is the suggestion from Brandon here in race number 2. The big one, the pick 6, begins at 14:10. 10 past 2, 1400 meters, and it's a maiden plate. Brandon, this is how the betting looks. Number 2, Get Up and Go, that's at 11-2. Number 3, Gold Boski at 17-10. Then we got horse number 4 at 8-1. Number 5 at 3-1. Horse number 7 at 9-2. And 8, World Warrior, is at 9-2. The way I read the race, I'm sure most racing fans would have read it the same way with regards to structure of the pick 6. Do we take on number 3, Gold Gaboxi, who He's got the form to win, but just proving costly to follow if you've gone for him in the past. The reason I say this, you just have a look at the odds. 28 to 10, 28 to 10, 5 to 4 favorite last time out. Ran a good race, but ran third. How do we play the first leg of the pick six? Do we take on the 17 to 10 shot with a few runners against the grain, or do we give him one final chance and say, let's go all in?
So, Dees, I'm going to give him one more chance. I'm of the opinion that maybe the 1600 was just too far for him last time. I did speak to Gavin Larena after the race on the 22nd of July, and he said, I cruised up to them in the home straight. I thought I was going to win with my head in my chest, and just that last bit, he didn't want to go through with it. Putting it down to the fact that maybe the 1600 meters too far at this early stage in his career. I like the fact that he's been dropped back in trip. He's got a good draw. We know that Muziyeni, hungry for success. He's banging home winners. He's going to be doing the traveling throughout the season. So from that sort of a draw, he's parked up to do no work. So one more chance for me, Dees. I think he's above average. I want to go back to that run over 1400 meters when he ran third to Star Major. There were a few nice horses. I know United Front disappointed terribly at restrictive odds next time out, but something must have come up in the washer with his performance. This horse, Gold Gaboski, ended up running third. I think Diamond Days will win his races. But yes, Dees, I'm going to give him one more chance over this sort of a trip. There are going to be dangers. You have to make a case for number 5, Konichiwa. He's as honest as the day is long. He's also drawn up to do no work, and he'll be right there. Aussie Noach gets the ride for Ricky Maingard. And then one other horse that you can make a big case for is number 8, World Warrior. The 3-year-old colt for James Crawford, Callan Murray, tricky draw of 8, but he was doing some superb work late. He's going to love the step up in trip number 8, World Warrior. So for me, he's the biggest danger to number 3, Gold Gaboski.
Okay, if you're looking for the cover and you're looking for one more horse to include in your pick 6 with number 3, Gold Gaboski, Brandon has suggested number 8, World Warrior, and we do keep the spend down. We minimize it here with those 2 runners, or maybe just the banker in leg 1 with the favorite. Race number 4, Jackpot 1, maiden plate, 1600 meters. We bring up the field and have a look at some betting, Brandon. Number 3 is Senor Dante, James Crawford's runner. 17 to 10 is how they got him priced up, the son of Rafif. Horse number 6, Love From Afar, Candace Bass Robinson and Corne Offer at 5 to 1. And then our first odds-on shot for the race meeting, number 7, Yamakazi, Justin Snate and JP van der Merwe, and a horse that's just come well at his last 2 starts. He's still a colt, and what's been the reason for him improving? Well, one could say maybe the step up in distance. He's now going over the right trip that's got the best out of him, number 7, Yamakazi, and he does look ready to win. Are we just siding with the market and going with the 2 runners, numbers 3 and 7, or do we have to give number 5 a look in? Or have you found something else?
So, Dees, I think naturally number 7, Yamazaki, is going to be the choice of many punters out there. My choice there as well. He's slowly been showing that progression that you can see on paper. 57 on his back. I know a tricky draw of 7, but he has got a wonderful turn of foot, number 7, Yamazaki. Watch him in the parade ring and watch him move down to the start. He always catches the eye, number 7. So I am going to go with him at restrictive odds of 7 to 10. If you are looking for a spook, well, the only spook I could find was number 3, Senor Dante. Maybe the small break of 86 days will do him the world of good. And just for your viewers, Dees, when there's this much amount of rain around in the Western Cape, the guys at Futura Park seem to get in a bit more work than the trainers at Milnerton. We know James Crawford's got his string at Futura Park, as does Justin Snace. And then Andre Nel, who's got his own private facility, and also a yard that we need to watch closely when it's these sort of conditions and the rain interrupting work. So, see, Senor Dante, if they've been able to squeeze enough work into him from a small break, he's got a good draw of 3. He could be the danger to number 7, Yamazaki. But I'll be very surprised if JP can't get this one home for Justin in race 4.
Horse number 7, Yamazaki, is going to be the first pick for Brandon. But if you're looking for one more, don't leave out number 3, and those 2 horses dominate the betting market at the time of recording. Race number 5, Jackpot 2, 15, 20, 1600 meters. It's a B stakes, and let's have a look at how the betting is with these runners that go to post. Number 1, Rule of Thumb, He's just been such a lovely horse to watch racing when he's been winning, and for the connections, a 6-time winner. Bipot Leg has had a nice long shot to this young gentleman at the Equus Awards. Must compliment him for the speech that he gave, thanking everybody in racing, especially his mum and his grandmum that attended. Looks like a lovely guy that's just maturing with age and, of course, experience. Number 2, Kamchatka is at 5-2. Number 4, 10 Penny for Paddy Creyer. That's trading at 5-2. Number 5, we have Touchdown at 6-1. Number 6, Long to the Moon is at 4-1. And number 7, World of Pleasure is at 6-1. Well, this young man, Bipot Leg, whilst we know what transpired towards the latter part of last season, or with regards to Trent Mayhew, and this young kid was so bold in his speech, his winning speech, mentioning that, I actually didn't expect it from somebody, that young to be that mature about his thought process. He's grabbing my attention both as a person and as a rider. He rides number 1, rule of thumb.
So Dee's confident young man, but reserved at the same time. He's a wonderful human being, if off camera, on camera. I know he doesn't give away too much in terms of chatting. Like I said, he's very reserved, but he's focused. He seems to be doing things at the right, or doing things right at the moment. And as you rightfully say, his speech at the Equus Awards was just out the top draw. He set the benchmark very high, as you would have heard by Gavin Larena as well. He thanked everybody, and even a guy like Robert Bloomberg, who's not easy to please, Dees. We say that tongue-in-cheek, but he sent me a message straight afterwards saying, wow, I was blown away with this young man's speech.
Yeah, sure. It is. Robert Bloomberg, you need to tick all the boxes, not just 1 and 2. So race
Correct.
number 5.
100%.
What are we doing? Jackpot 2.
So, Dees, I really like a horse here. I was hoping we could get a better price, but number 4, 10 Penny. He goes through any conditions. In fact, his last win was in awful conditions, and I was super impressed with the way he got the job done. I know Paddy Creyer has often said that he's a very nice horse, and the older he gets, he's just going to mature and furnish into a proper racehorse. I believe he's still ahead of the handicap of a rating of 90. He's got a good draw. If you go back and watch his last run, if that doesn't impress you, then I don't know what will. If the conditions turn up on the softer side, which I'd imagine they are going to do, Dees, I'm going to go with number 4, 10 Penny. That's going to be my selection here.
Okay, 4, 10 Penny is going to be a nice confident selection from Brandon in this field, and it's a small field of just 8 runners that go to post. If you were playing a pick 6 on the day in these testing conditions that are going to be coming up with regards to track condition, how many horses would you include in your pick 6?
So I would need to throw in the likes of 1 rule of thumb. I think you've brought up the right aspects with the 6-year-old gelding. He's been there, done that, got the T-shirt. Good draw. Our champion apprentice, Bipot Leg, he takes off 1.5 kilograms, so he'll be given every chance. You would have to include, naturally, number 2, Kamchatka. Her recent form has been very good, Dees. And I've already told the viewers about following the Andre Nel yard with their private facility. Wonderful place. And some lovely horses coming through, and I think a yard that we can follow in a big way for the Cape Summer season, that of Andre Nel. 4, 10 Penny going to be my top selection. I might just take a second pick 6 and take my chances and banker him. And then further down the page, if you want to throw in one more, number 6, Song to the Moon. He's very pleasing on the eye, if that's the right term. He's a lovely looking gelding. He covers a lot of ground. He's got a good turn of foot. Muzi Yeni knows him very well. He'll be just off the speed early, and he'll also be flashing up late. So that would be my play, naturally on the safer side of things. But my second pick 6, we take our stance and we're going to bank number 4, 10 Penny. Okay,
let's move along to the last pick 3 on the card. Race number 6, 1555, 1950 meters. Bring up the field, Brandon. We'll have a look at some betting. Number 1, Tori's Girl, 5-1. Horse number 2 is trading at 3-1. And then we got number 4, State Capital, at 5-2. Number 6 is trading at 8-1. And we got another 8-1 shot, number 8, the Night Ferry. And 4-1, number 9, Money Extractor. And that is the field. all 9 runners to race at the time of recording. So you've helped keep this pick 6 down to a nice amount to date, a nice number after the first half of the bet. That's the first 3 legs. You got some leeway here with regards to spend. What are we going to do?
So these trappy race, there's a few horses that have been given a number of chances and they've often disappointed. Let's start with number 2, Narrow Tour. We can make a case for this individual. Callan Murray gets the ride for James Crawford. He's showing good progression in his form, and you can see with the blinkers fitted, he's certainly shown some good improvement. The run on the 24th of June, he ran 3 lengths to Captain's Alliance, and then the 22nd of July, he ran 3rd to Baton Rouge, who's in great form, trained by Pip Boerter. So you can certainly make a case for number 2, Narrow Tour. 4, State Capital, Gareth Wright for Glenn Cotson. She moved up like she was going to win going away in her last start. If you go and listen to the interview with Richard Faree, who happened to win that race on Baton Rouge, he said, Gareth Wright had me stone cold as we turned for home. Just that last bit, she didn't want to go past and settle the score. But her last 2 runs have been very good, Dee. So hard to fault State Capital's form. She goes through testing conditions as well, and she's got a good draw of 4. 5, Stanza Stark. What price is Stanza Stark, Dees?
Stanza Stark, horse number 5. Well, I will definitely get that for you because I have it open.
Last time I looked 10 to 1. Is that right, Dees?
Number 5, which is Stanza Stark, Hollywoodbets. That is race number 6 we're on. Very easy to find, and that is it. Yep, now you can get 12.5 to 1. That's what it's trading at. It's actually gone out 2.5 points, 12.5 to 1.
So last time out, no luck at all. Absolutely no luck at all. She was actually moving into, looked like she was going to run a big race. I know she finished downfield on that occasion. But I did speak to Pit Boerter and obviously Kyle Snyders, who does a lot of hard work back at Milnerton for Pitt and his team. They were gutted that the gaps didn't open at the right time for number 5, Stanza Stark. Brevin Plyke is a man that gets around in the morning. He knows this mare very well. I'm not going to be overly confident and put my chest out and say that she'll win these, but I think she'll be right there from a decent draw. So you can make a case at a decent price for number 5, Stanza Stark. And then just one more further down the page, she won a super race last time, was number 9, Money Extractor. Grant van Niekerk again for Des McLaughlin. I think she's one that we can follow in this sort of division. She quickened up like a nice filly. I'm not going to say a top division filly, but she'll win her races off this sort of a rating, number 9, Money Extractor, and she must go into the play as well. So tricky race, but for your exotics, 2, Narrow Tour, 4, State Capital, 5, Stanza Stark, and number 9, Money Extractor.
I love it. It's 9 runners. You've played to a rule that I follow, which is less than half the field. 4 runners, great. But he's picked out a nice 12.5 to 1, number 5, Stanza Stark, as an each-way player with our last season reigning champion apprentice, Brevin Plyke's up. And, after this show, I don't think 12 to 1 is going to last because Brandon has made a nice, strong case here for number 5, Stanza Stark. And what you need to do, as you mentioned, go and have a look at that replay of that last start. We're on to the final 2 furlongs of the race meeting, races 7 and 8, 1100 meters. It's a class 4. How are we looking here with betting and the field? Number 3, Green Planet at 9 to 2. 4 is Sardinia Bay at 3 to 1. Number 5, Blind Date at 4 to 1. 6, Spirit at 5 to 2. Number 7, Follow Your Heart at 4 to 1. And it is double figures the balance. I don't want you to go into any depth, maybe just a yes or no on this. Have you been on a blind date before?
Way too many times, Dees, and it's ended awfully for me.
Okay, so you have, and many times for our very own Brandon Bailey. Okay, race 7, what are we doing in race 7?
So Dees, trappy race because there's a few improving youngsters, and I mentioned the likes of number 4, Sardinia Bay, 5, Blind Date, 6, Spirits, and number 7, Follow Your Heart. At a fair price, I think you mentioned 9 to 2, 5 to 1. You have to think number 7, Follow Your Heart, is a big runner. Craig Zaki gets the ride for Candice Bass Robinson, a yard that's in good form here in the Western Cape. This individual, a gorgeous looking horse. He's got the big white face. He's been off the track for 90 days, but he won a very good race beating Star Major last last time. And if you go back in his form, I mean, on debut, he ran second to Spacebound. Then he followed that up with a good run behind North Point, who's held in high regard by James Crawford and his team. And then he beat Star Major back on the 21st of May. And Aldo Dume was quick to mention that when he steps up in trip, the fact that he's winning over these sprinting trips, that's all his class that's coming through. But when he steps up in trip, he's going to be a serious horse. So number 7, Follow Your Heart. If he's ready to rock and roll after a small break, I think he'll be right there, and he could be very hard to beat in a race like this. But 3 Green Planet, Sardinia Bay, Blind Date, and Spirit are all horses that you can make each way cases for D's. But I'm going to go and have a nibble at this price. He's way above average, number 7, Follow Your Heart.
7, Follow Your Heart. What are the numbers there for the pick 6?
I'd probably go 3 Green Planets, the 4 Sardinia Bay, the 5 Blind Date, who we don't know too much about, but won a very good race last time, showing good improvement from run 1 to run 2. And then number 6 Spirit. I know Albert and Pitstein have always told me that he's nowhere near the finished article, number 6 Spirit, so he'll need to go in as well. Okay,
3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we close things off, Brandon, with race number 8, and hopefully things are going to plan at 10 past 5. It's a D stakes over 1,200 meters. Number 1, Lover's Lane at 6 to 1. Then we got number 5, Easy Living at 8 to 1. Number 6, True Horizon at 9 to 2. Horse number 5 is Tambourine Man at 3 to 1. And then we side with number 9 at 5 to 1, and it's double figures the balance. 11 runners go to post. It looks like a decent trifecta and quartet to chase here in race number 8. And usually when we have our local race meetings, it comes to the last race, that pool does swell to a reasonable, respectable amount. And this could be a nice quartet to catch. But more importantly, we've been chatting about minimizing the spend, etc. I don't know how you're going to try and help us here, because the favorite is at 3 to 1, and there's lots of value to be had when you look at the opposition to Tambourine Man.
It's a nightmare. Absolute nightmare of a race. These D stakes, you can run them 5 times over on the same day with 5 minutes apart, and you'll get the same or different results each time. So I'm not going to be overly confident with anything. There's been a few horses that have disappointed, one of them being number 1, Lover's Lane. I thought he couldn't get beat last time out. He looked like he was peaking for that win that he deserves. Paul Reeves has done a wonderful job with a 6-year-old gelding. He always comes to the course looking so well. And I ran up to Paul Reeves after his last run. I said, what happened there? And he said, wow, we are so disappointed. So they went back home scratching their heads. I'm sure they would have gone back to the drawing board and almost hit the reset button with him back at home. Brevin Plyke takes off 1.5 kilograms. If he bounces back to his best form and he puts his best run in D's, he'll go very close at a decent price, number 1, Lover's Lane. I did speak to Adam Marcus about his horses for Perfectly Placed. He was of the opinion that maybe number 7, Tambourine Man, is the best of his lot. Craig Zaki gets the ride. He also knows him very well. He ran a very good second last time to Why Not Jackie. So you can make a case for him. But D's, if you came to the lucky last and you said, Brandon, I want to have a small play, just an interest play, I'd probably go and give this horse one more chance in hope that he can bounce back to his best, number 1, Lover's Lane.
Okay, Lover's Lane. So, you know what I've been doing during the course of the show, and I usually just, will spontaneously do it with the guys, Brandon. So I've been a bit naughty, and I've been doing an in-running pick 6 thus far, okay? And just for our viewers, whilst you were chatting, and the pick 6 is looking like so before we go into the last leg. 3 and 8, I went for the cover in leg 1, by 3 and 7 in leg 2, by 1, 2, 4, and 6, by 2, 4, 5, and 9, by 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the spend at this stage of the game before going into the last leg is 256 Rand. Don't worry about budget, etc. We can always play the fractional percentage, because that's what the total allows you to do. So we'll keep the spend in whatever we got in our pocket the same, and we'll just take a lesser percentage if we're going to multiply this out. So we're sitting on 256 Rand. What will you suggest in race number 8 with regards to numbers?
D's, just to go back to the penultimate leg, probably
Yes.
my fault, because you did ask me for those numbers. Can you throw in number 7, who is my top selection there? Follow Your Heart.
Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So it'll be 64 multiplied by 5 then. So we are at 320 Rand now.
Okay, so we're going into the lucky last. Let's go one Lover's Lane would need to go in. We would need to include number 5, Easy Living. Aussie Notes riding for Paul Reeves, I'd include that. I would throw in number 6, True Horizon, the 7, Tambourine Man, and then one last horse, maybe number 9, Viva Perle, the filly, taking on the boys.
So
that would probably be the right sort of play, even though going into the last leg, D's, I am very nervous. If I had my way, I'd go fields, but I understand this time of the month, everybody's got a budget to stick to, and we need to be brave and bold. But those would be my horses for the lucky last leg of that pick 6.
1, 5, 7, and 9. So all we do then, racing fans, we go 320 times 4, and that will give us 1,280 Rand. And as you know, the fractional betting on the tote allows you to spend whatever you want, and it'll give you a ticket with the percentage that you are going to be winning. But 128 Rand will give you 10% of that pick 6. So just to recap on the numbers: 3, 8, by 3 and 7, by 1, 2, 4 and 6, by 2, 4, 5 and 9, by 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, by 1, 5, 7 and 9. And that's an in-running pick 6, which was not planned. But Brandon, just listening to him, we've jotted down those numbers. Have you got a suggested bet for us, Brandon?
I do, Dees. I'm going to tip up a Bipot. I love my Bipot play. You can spend small money and you can make some good money on the totalized data. It's obviously all about structure, as you've rightfully said. So in the first leg, we're going to go and bank number 3. 3 being Magical Place. Let's hope that the first timers obviously don't come and blow us out the water over there. But I think 3 Magical Place, certainly a horse that must go into the play. Dees, there was an update in terms of the Bipot rules a couple of weeks ago. Is that right?
Yes, it is. With regards to raced runners and unraced runners, if I can just recap on it, it's very simple, racing fans, if you don't know. As we know with the pick 6, the first unraced runner will, first race runner will qualify if unraced runners finish in front. But with the Bipot, as I understand it, and please correct me if I'm wrong, it will be if an unraced runner wins, then it's the first and second position that is. Then a raced runner also qualifies. Is that the way it works?
That's from my understanding. I know that there was a change and punters weren't happy. I think us as presenters were also caught flat-footed, but that's the same way as I understand it. So we'll go and bank number 3 in the first leg. D's number 3, Magical Place. He should put that experience to good use, and I'm of the opinion that he'll be the right horse on the day. So we bank a 3 in the first leg. The second leg, we go 2, 3 and 6. That'll be 2 Jet Force, number 3 Late December, and number 6 Scottish Kiss. The third leg, which goes off at 10 past 2, we're going to bank number 3, Gold Gabowski, hoping that the drop-in trip will be the right trick for number 3, Gold Gabowski, the 3-year-old chestnut colt. Then we go into the next leg, which will be the fourth leg, race number 4. We're going to go 3 and 7. 3 being Signor Dante and number 7, Yamazaki. We should be on the safe side there. The fifth leg off at 20 past 3. We're going 4 and 6. So 10 Penny and number 6, Song to the Moon. And the last leg of the Bipot, 2, 4 and 9. So 2 Narratois, the 4 State Capital, and number 9 Money Extract. And then my best bet will be race 3, number 3 Gold Gabowski, and my value bet will be race 5, number 4 10 Penny. Let's hope that we can bank some cash and set ourselves up for a good week ahead of racing. Dees?
Well, you've got me excited about the race meeting now on the 19th with your Bipot, and of course that in-running pick 6 and the comments that you've given us. But hopefully, fingers crossed that the racing gods somehow smile down, at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth and us racing fans who want to get the show on the road for a new week. And we race on Tuesday. Hopefully that works out, Brandon.
Absolutely. Like I say, the punters, the viewers, they must just keep watching the press for the news to come through. But as it stands, the time of recording this show, D's racing goes ahead. But just keep watching the press for further details.
Thanks for your time and all the best on this Tuesday. Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you, D's. Keep safe, keep warm, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay, as we say goodbye to Brandon Brady from the Gallop TV team, we wish you, the valued racing fan, all the best if you are playing on Tuesday. Tuesday, what's the date again? It's the 19th of August where we race at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on the winter course. Until we meet again, you take care. Salani Gashle.